Hey DMs, my name is Brandon. I'll be your fellow DM today, and we're going to be talking about rolling in the open versus rolling behind a screen. Why would I want to do this, and why does it make a difference? Stay tuned to find out more. All right, rolling in the open versus rolling behind a screen. Now, a Dungeon Master screen is kind of the go-to for everybody. Everybody wants to make sure that they have full control over what's happening. And sometimes that's a fantastic idea. Sometimes it's great. Sometimes it causes more issues than anything else. So here is my 2 cents, is that number one, it comes down to player preference. A lot of players want to know that they're getting a fair game. If the DM can change things on a whim storyline, they want to make sure if he's rolling dice or she's rolling dice that the dice are making sense and it's fair. Okay, so I often actually end up rolling open dice against my players or with my players when we're actually playing. And I tell them straight out, listen, if I'm going to have to roll dice, you're going to be at the mercy of those dice. I'm going to make sure that they understand that if we're rolling open, then we don't pull punches, and then we also, don't hit unnecessarily. Definitely is an interesting dynamic. Now, the DM screen is still, possibly used if you're using it for keeping your notes, or if you have a notebook, or if you're trying to keep track of certain, enemy stats and all kinds of stuff like that. Absolutely, it's worth it. But if it's a contested roll, right, and you're hitting, the players very quickly can lose a lot of that, drive to continue the game because they keep losing. They keep losing these contests where they keep getting hit. Now, a lot of DMs will say, well, I want to make sure that I can scale back the hits if I want. I want to make sure I can hide what's going on. And you're not wrong. That's definitely a huge aspect of it. If you went too strong onto the monsters, then you want to make sure that when you're hitting, you're not hitting too hard and so on and so forth. My suggestion of that is change the tactics often rather than changing the damage and changing the hits and all of that. I will often, whenever I play with a player, give them the option, hey, listen, I want to be clear. Before we start this game, you have the option to allow me to roll in the open so you can see what you're rolling against. If the creature's actually hitting, you can see the full info on that one. Or, if you'd like, I can roll behind the screen. Now, rolling behind the screen means that I have a little more control, I have a little more flexibility, that I'm able to, hit you if it's necessary to hit you. If it's unnecessarily, doing too much damage, I can pull that back. But if we roll in the open, you'll know exactly what it is. If we roll behind, you're not going to know what it is. And some players are all for having the DM roll in the open. If they don't feel they have a fair DM, absolutely they want it rolled in the open. If they feel that the DM that they have is being fair and everything else, and they're crafting the stories properly and all that, they'll say, hey, listen, I don't care either way, roll behind the DM screen, roll in front of it, it doesn't matter. My personal preference, I prefer to roll in the open. So whenever you play at my table, we're making sure that everybody is in the same page. And it's the same thing for players. I don't allow players to roll in any kind of towers that the entire party can't see the results. And that just creates a little bit of assurances, basically, whether the players are being fair and whether the DM is being fair. So that's my 2 cents real quick on the open versus closed rolling from the Dungeon Master's perspective. I'd love to hear your comments, concerns, questions, bitches, moans, gripes, whatever you may have. Thanks for listening. Leave your comment below if you have any questions on things and what you'd like us to answer. Otherwise, have yourself a great day. Thanks for watching D&D Quick Shots.